Hello. Hi there, everyone. Hello. Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever, whenever. Good. So today, on this day 2 years ago, I got my first two decks, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirits and the Wild Unknown Tarot. Now, I started with the Wild Unknown Animal Spirits because the Tarot was intimidating AF. And I was like, I kind of know animals, so I feel more comfortable with that. And also, roughly a year-ish ago, I started pulling cards on the internet. Now, a lot of those videos are private, or at least quite a few of them are. But so I started pulling on the internet. And so we're just going to see what's up. I don't know. I was like, I feel like using these today. So Kim Crayons was my introduction to tarot. And so when I found out about the archetypes, I had to have it. Even though I don't use that deck a lot. I love it. But I just don't use it a lot. That was the cherry at the cut. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull two animals. Maybe I'll do top and bottom. Yeah, I'll just do the top and bottom. If anything comes out, I'll put it in the middle. And then I'll clarify it with 3 cards. And it'll be from past most to future most. Let's not. We'll just see. We'll see. I kind of want to get these face down. And then we'll see what's up. What a 2 years it's been. Oh, goodness. So I'll give it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, yeah, no, see. And then I'll cut it. Top and bottom. Bottom of the deck is the zebra. It's black and white, and there's colors here. Excuse me. It carries a horse energy, but like a grasslands horse. Like a plains horse instead of, or a Sahara. Well, I like grasslands better. Like a grasslands horse, though, instead of like a Montana horse. Also, I think it talks about sort of unifying poles, more or less. And there is a certain element of spirituality here because that balance exists. 2 of Cups in the Moon. Now, the 2 of Cups in this deck is my receptivity card. So that's basically double moon energy. The 2 of Cups is a mirror. Oh, now it's double world energy. Okay. The moon and the world. No, it's the mother. No, that's the daughter in the world. So let's do this. I was alive. Let's just do 5 again. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Okay. The top. The card in the middle. And the bottom. And then we'll do it again. The World and the Son of Pentacles. It was the World and the Daughter of Pentacles before. That's completion on both masculine and feminine side energy to come into this space of partnership. Even though the 3 of Pentacles is partnership, it's like collaboration where both parties are like, you know, good. Hermit and the Ace of Swords because they've done that internal work. Okay. 1, 1, 2, 3. Wow, that's it. 4, 5. Get that cut. And then just want to get like 1. The Fool in the Sun. Gorgeous. The Hangman and the Fool. I feel like that it's an energy of like, it must be 10:31. Yep, like clockwork every day. Good morning. Don't forget to sign into this app today that you haven't signed into for literally years, but we'll keep sending you reminders. I accidentally opened Duolingo the other day, and for like a week, the owl was like, hey. And I was like, oh, this is awkward, but it stops. I just want like, oh, okay, yeah, no, not all that. One card. There's like a bridging energy. Okay. Bottom of the deck is, oh, goodness. The Two of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Six of Cups almost fell in my hand. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Wands. Are they in reverse now? Oh, yeah. No, got to put these up right. Seven of Wands. So we have the Seven of Wands and the Zebra. And there's this interesting element of light, dark, and awareness in the middle between the Zebra and the Seven of Wands. It's like the courage and the strength to stand alone, but to stand united within the self. Okay, so let's start here. So, oof, well, the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands being a bridge, I feel like this speaks to burdens, but it's not necessarily burdens that we need to release. Responsibility. That's what this is. This is responsibilities. And it's like there are certain responsibilities that we have to ourselves, and there are certain responsibilities that we have to others. Responsibilities of decency. And it seems that we've been a little lax here. But we'll see. We'll see what's up. So up top, we have the hyena. I tried to put these up right, but I think I ended up putting them in reverse. Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, the tarantula came out. I was literally just thinking about the tarantula because I was like, I'm not going to use the book. I'm just going to go off of whatever. And then I was like, oh, what if I get the tarantula card? Because there's also a spider in the deck. And then I was like, well, tarantulas are bigger. They're in the deserts. And do they build webs? I don't know. Let's ask Siri. Hey, Siri, do tarantulas build webs?
Here's what I found from Wikipedia.org. As the common name suggests, these spiders construct non-sticky-long tunnel-shaped webs, often under logs and rocks, but they will also construct their webs in the trunks of trees, in rock faces, and in urban structures.
In urban structures? Ooh, tarantulas done come out the jungle. So they're not sticky. Okay. Because I'm like, these things are too big to like tarantulas. I don't necessarily think that they like tarantulas are the ones that like move around on the ground, right? And then spiders, other spiders are the ones that build the web and then things come to the web. The tarantula goes after its prey. And so its webs don't need to be sticky. And then here's the hyena with this. There was that double moon energy. There's the light side and the dark side of the moon. This is so funny. I watched like half of Water Baby Tarot's Pisces video, and she was talking about people who use humor to mask heavier emotions. Specifically Pisces, I guess, that did it. And the hyena card can talk about that. Hyena energy can also be kind of satirical. But I think what's interesting is there is this energy here of maybe like on one side, it's about no longer just waiting for things, it's about going after it, right? If your web isn't sticky, then you're not that kind of spider. But up here, I've been talking a lot lately about how the moon isn't a luminary, how traditionally it was, but we now know that it's not a luminary. So there should, in the zodiac, technically be a 13th sign, a 13th energy, an energy that represents the side of the moon that we don't see, right? Just like in the planets, there's the side of the planet that's facing the sun, and that's the side that we see in the sky because it reflects that sunlight. And then there's the side of the planet that doesn't, just like on Earth. There's a side that's in the daytime, and then there's a side that's in the nighttime. And Ophiuchus is the 13th sign. So I was like, okay, well, then Ophiuchus would be the dark side of the moon, which kind of sort of I can see. I think it has some like creative cosmic mother type of energies. So it would be the what sister sign to Cancer. Um, and where does Ophiuchus fall? Between Sag and Scorpio? Scorpio is Mars, Sag is Jupiter. And then you have the Sun and Mercury on the other side. Anyway, there's this energy up here of maybe there's a joke that's no longer funny. I feel like time has progressed. Both of these are the element of fire. This is going to be interesting. I don't know what this is. And the zebra is also the element of fire. So let's take it to the deserts, to the arid areas. Hyenas have, like, this hyena has spots, but it's not like a cheetah, right? The tarantula is a spider, but its web isn't sticky. Anyway, with this up here, I feel like there's an energy of something being masked or revealed, but it's going to be coming to the light because our understanding has changed, because our awareness has evolved. And again, like we now know that the moon isn't a luminary. The moon doesn't hold any light of its own. It only reflects the light of the sun, like all of the planets in our solar system. So we don't treat the planets as if they are like these individual, sort of, as if they're these cohesive energies, right? It's like the sun is Leo. The sun is always Leo and the moon is Cancer. The moon is always Cancer because they're luminaries. But in reality, again, the moon is another satellite. So it has another side just like all the other planets. And so as our understanding of something increases, then so too must we evolve with that change. And I feel like that's this responsibility in the middle. There's a responsibility to self to recognize, acknowledge ourselves, and to begin to cover our own weaknesses. And to not, and it's not necessarily covering our own weaknesses, it's just like this, there's a responsibility for us to take care of ourselves, right? And so if there's something that works for the standard, but that doesn't work for us, or if there's something that no longer works for us, then it's our responsibility to change and adapt to ensure our survival. And for people, it's interesting because, you know, with animals, they kind of sort of just do it. And if they can't, they don't make it. But with people, we have the choice and the will to be stuck and to be stagnant and to stand still instead of change. And I went to bed last night thinking, because I have an interesting feeling about the sentiment that the things that are meant for us like will not pass us by. Like I understand it, but also I don't believe it because we have free will and we have choice, and we can choose to let those things go. And if we choose to let something go that is ours, if we forfeit ownership, not ownership, but if we forfeit the right to access something, and if that changes hands, then we no longer have the access that we would have had we claimed it. Your free will and our free will and our choice is honored. And so if we choose to pass something up, that will be honored and it will no longer be ours because we declined it. Or at least that's how I'm feeling. And I think that's what this responsibility is kind of sort of talking about, right? If your web isn't sticky, you're a tarantula. You have to go after your prey. Your prey isn't coming to you. If your jokes aren't funny anymore, if your mask is starting to crack and humor or diversion or distraction no longer brings you the peace or the solace that you need to continue to ignore the things that you're ignoring, if you have to increase the dosage, if you have to seek something harder and harder and harder just to get some semblance of peace, then maybe it's time to actually face the problem and to stop running away. So I think I'm going to actually read these together. So we got the Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. So up here, again, I feel like, hey, look, there's another moon. I feel like there's this energy of like almost having made it, right? Or there's this energy of like, let's say that there's something that you used to enjoy that you don't really enjoy anymore, but you want to. And so you engage in the activity, you go to this place, you listen to this song, you do whatever. And it's like it almost takes you to that place that it used to take you, but it's like right before you get there, it stops. And then you plummet right back down to the bottom into whatever you're trying to distract yourself from. So this is the past most energy. Here is the Two of Pentacles. And I feel like the Two of Pentacles is this sort of balance that we try to strike between going after what we want and the things coming to us. That kind of worked sometimes, but kind of didn't other times. Because again, like when there is an opportunity to be had, right? And maybe some of these opportunities you kind of let pass you by, and some of these you took, right? It's like it had to be really, really, really to you when it happened in order for you to like get it. Because again, like your web isn't holding anything in place. Now, present most energy down here is the Emperor. I love that. So finally taking charge and going after the things. Things are changing. I love this. And then up here, it's the Eight of Wands. The Nine of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. The Eight of Wands is recognition. But because it's almost like when you stopped distracting yourself from the things, and when you stopped running from things, and when you stopped medicating, self-medicating, then it puts you in a position to actually see not only what the problem is, but a solution or something that you can do to begin to actually address the problem instead of, tabling it for further discussion. And it's almost this energy at the same time of like you tabled and tabled and tabled and tabled this problem, this issue, this whatever, focusing on other things. And now it's like, well, there's nothing else really to focus on. This is your most pressing concern. This is the thing that impacts a lot of things. And so if that's the case, then right, it's like when you resolve this or as you begin to work through this, then it releases limitation, it releases blockages in many, many, many areas. And then things just start like coming in from all over, right? From all corners of the earth, they start to flock to you because you have taken on this energy of enlightenment, for lack of a better word, but this energy of no longer seeking this escape. And again, down here, it's this recognition that in order for you to maximize the opportunity maximize your access to opportunity in your life, it requires you to act a little bit more in your true nature, or in a truer nature, or to act and align in a way that your strengths can, I don't want to say like lubricate. It makes it easier to access. Um, Up here, though, this enlightenment, quote unquote, is being blocked by the father of, oh, look at that, look at that. And they're the same colors too. Now, sometimes when we see this lightning bolt, it'll have some of the, because it's like rainbow on all sides. But both of these are primarily in the red, orange, yellow, primarily red, orange. And there's a little bit of green. Yeah, there's like a touch of blue or green in the Eight of Wands, but it's primarily that red, yellow in both of these. So I feel like what's blocking this is, it's like there's this false sense of not victory, or it's almost like a false sense of pride, of like, things were better back then and I could do this and I can do that. But, and like, from an outside view of your life, I feel like things weren't really that great, right? Like, if you have to medicate so heavily, if you have to distract so hard just to be somewhat productive, or to feel like you're somewhat together, then at the very least, you can be much more, or do much more, when you don't have to divert so much time and energy and effort to these placebo type things. And I think the Father of Wands, it's also a challenge in being vulnerable enough to not only face these things, but to feel like at least you're re-entering a space that you fought so hard to come out of. And that's the challenge. It's like old ego, old shadow type stuff, right? It's like as soon as you think about opening up to someone or being vulnerable, then it's like, oh, remember Clarinda? No problem. It went great, but after not so good. What? So are you still there now? I hope you're doing better. I was talking to you, and then, or I sent you that message, and before you replied, I was talking to one of my other friends, so that's why. Oh, wow. Well, I hope that you you start. I hope it turns around for you. So sorry to hear that you got stuck in the hospital. But yeah, send me a message. We can talk if you want after. I'll just wrap this up really quick, but I do hope that I hope things turn around. Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha. It's the medicines. Um, but yeah, the ego it's been a theme for a minute, but it's because it's one of our greatest blockages to doing whatever. Um, and so I feel like the core theme here is the responsibility that we have to ourselves to make sure that we do what we can, all that we can, or at least something, to achieve that happiness. Um, and up here, this is a reworking of intuition and insight. Because again, with this Nine of Wands, there's this energy of like almost thriving in the past, though, on the shadow side. And maybe we thought we were keeping ourselves light by doing this, but again, like things can be brighter when you're not constantly distracting yourself or self-medicating in any number of ways. Okay, no problem, Clorinda. I hope that again you hit that upswing and you can go home. No worries. What else was I gonna say about that? I think that's it. Not wanting to look weak, not wanting to look stupid, not wanting to be vulnerable, but the lack of vulnerability is what keeps all of this away. And moving into the future most energy, down here we have the Five of Cups, which is interesting after the Emperor. Okay. I feel like this Five of Cups is it's almost this energy of like, why didn't I do it sooner? No worries. You're welcome. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. Because this was I was like hoping for like the sun or something. But honestly, this does feel like an energy of like, why didn't I do this sooner? Also, because this is an eclipse here in this Emperor card. Now, the next solar eclipse is December 14th, maybe, potentially. I don't remember the exact day. I think it's around the 14th of December. And the eclipse, it speaks of where the internal self and the external self meet. And I feel like this it's that why didn't I do it sooner, but it's also this energy of like needing to almost console yourself and like let yourself know that like when I didn't know better, I didn't know better. And if I didn't know better, then how could I expect myself to do any better? I feel like there's going to be a need to be patient and gentle with ourselves. Also, when we are being more, when we're having more of a presence in our life, we may not have as much time or energy for things that take away from us doing what it is that we want. Because again, in the beginning, we were almost in this more still traditional spider energy. And maybe you were a spider in the past and opportunities came your way, and then maybe opportunities stopped coming your way and because you became a tarantula and your web wasn't as sticky as it used to be. Right? This web ain't as sticky as it used to be. Guess I'm gonna have to go out and hunt like the other animals do or whatever. Who it is, please. Girl, this is not the email I wanted. But things are changing. And there may be things that sort of fall to the wayside. And I think that energy, it's the same for both. And that's why this Ten of Wands is also here, because there's this burden to the self. There's this responsibility to the self where, what do they say? There's this saying. Oh, no, that was something different. That was when I think Jesus was talking about how some dude was like, "Oh, the girl should like dress like this or do whatever because if I see even like a square centimeter of skin, then I might lose control." And Jesus was like, if your eyes cause you to sin, then pluck out your eyes. If your hand causes you to sin, then cut off that hand. And I guess it kind of sort of is that, but it's like if something is draining you, if something isn't serving you, if something is taking you away from what it is that you need to do for yourself, this is that animalistic preservation of self. Oh, here's the 10. 10, 9, 8, 7. I just went 9, 8, 7 and forgot all about the 10 that's right there. You had the best nurse in recovery, such a beautiful spiritual soul. Oh, I've been seeing so many ads about the Calm app. I haven't gotten onto it, but the ads look amazing. I'm glad you had someone in there to take care of you in that way, to also calm the other stuff as well. And yeah, when you come into this emperor status, you may find that certain things no longer serve the empire, right? And maybe you were in a king or queen type of energy before where you had a kingdom, but when you graduate from a kingdom to an empire, things change. Now up here, we have the chariot, which is that movement. This is Cancer, Cancerian energy. I guess the high priestess would kind of be that other side of Cancer. I mean, because they're both Cancerian energies, right? What is the high priestess? Hold up. What is she? The moon. The high priestess is the moon. Okay. Yeah. I was like, what is the high priestess? The high priestess is the moon, and Cancer is the chariot. But this is about this is interesting because she's a Pisces. She said it's expensive. Oh well, yeah. Oh, the high priestess, it can be a Piscean energy. People say like Pisces or Cancer, but it's traditionally the moon. Like the sun is the sun, and the Empress is Venus. The Tower is Mars. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter. The World is Saturn. Like it's one of those planet ones. But you can also sort of break them down by sign, right? But this chariot is interesting because it's only one horse instead of two horses. And the one horse is the one with the moon on it. And we have these two moons, both in the same crescent shape ish. But in one card, it's dark. In the chariot, it's dark. And the sun is above. Something about this hyena energy is outdated. Kind of sort of like I said in the beginning, like these jokes aren't funny anymore. Right? As our understanding has grown and progressed, like we know that the moon is an illuminary body. So maybe it's time we start treating it like a planet instead of treating it like the sun. No offense against the moon. And it is like it's close enough that it affects us, but everything affects us. Right? But I feel like also it detracts from all that it could be if we continue to ignore that other side of the moon. Well, it's not that there aren't any choices. It's because the Ace of Pentacles is here around the horse's neck. Because it reminds me of the action card. Because in the action card, there's like in the energy oracle cards, there's two horses, both going in the same direction, not tied together, and no charioteer. So that to me also has a chariot energy, but it's a chariot energy. That's what this is like. It's this point where our free will aligns with greater things. Nikita is a Scorpio. What? Now every time it's like somebody's birthday is today, I'm like, this person is of that sign. What? I guess I didn't really know. No, Nikita. This card is slow moving. No, it's not that it's slow moving. Well, it is. It can be. It's slow moving if you're slow moving. Um, I feel like this card, this chariot, is about being light. It's like this is us aligning to the divine. This is us aligning to the self. And it's not even like this. It's like this projected self, because it's not even us. It's the self that society has sort of like, it's the image that society has gotten us to project for ourselves as our vision of us. And if that vision of us has lots of disparities between the truth of us, then it makes this path very difficult and the horse is slow. But when we aim for something that aligns more to our truth, or that at least it's paved a path, it has a path paved that aligns more closely to our authenticity, then it smooths things out and this thing can ride as fast as light, the speed of light this horse can move at. Hey, look, we have two horses. One of these horses is moving, the other horse is sad. Sorry. But yeah, no problem, Corinda. um, but yeah, it's like it is aligned to something higher, but it being aligned to something higher isn't the. It's not that it's not the point, but it's like it's aligned with self. And once you travel so far within, you discover everything outside. So ultimately, the hyena path up here, it's all about following the truth of one's own light and stepping into that truth, no matter the sort of cost that we may fear, maybe being rejected by other people, not being accepted, or whatever, because it's the burden of responsibility that we have to ourselves. When we're acting in a space of self love, then it's like we. Oh snap! I need to act. I need to activate my card. I'm looking at my card that expired this month. They sent me the new card like at the beginning of October. I never use it, so I was just like, oh, I'm like staring at it right now. So maybe also Hyena Path has been holding on to basically the answer, basically the solution, but it's like, I'm gonna drive this baby until the wheels fall off. And it's like now that the wheels are falling off, it's time to upgrade. Um, but yeah, this path up here, it's all about sort of being true to oneself, regardless of the external consequences. Because when you love yourself, you have a responsibility to yourself to ensure your happiness. And we could say, oh, but like if I'm getting rejected and ostracized by everybody, then how am I supposed to be happy? And it's like, okay, well, at least you'd be happy within yourself, though. If you start playing a role to fit in with everyone else, it's like, great, you fit into all of these places and all of these spaces. But the one place that you can never escape, the self, you feel the most disconnected from. What good is it to gain the world and lose the self, right? That's the question up here. What good is it to gain the world but lose the self? And like the world that you're gaining isn't even like that great. But when you come into the truth of self, that's when things for you will really start taking off. And it's interesting because it's like hyena reaches that point here. Here's the spark. But after this father of wands energy is taken care of, we come into full chariot mode. The tarantula energy has already reached that point in the present, in the most present moment, I guess. Or in a lesser past moment. This is the most past moment. This is the lesser past moment. This is the least past moment. Let's do it that way. Um, it's already reached that point, but something about these two is it's different because this path up here is primarily about time, time and knowledge. When you didn't know any better, you didn't know any better. But with this path down here, it's like it's not that you knew better per se, but you knew that something was different because your web isn't sticky like other spiders. Because you're bigger than other spiders, you're hairier than other spiders, and it's like responsibility up here is about self love. Responsibility down here is about, it's almost this energy of like doing what you need to do to ensure your success and your stability. With the Emperor, it's about stability, it's about security, it's about decisiveness. And with the Two of Pentacles, it's like there's this wishy-washy type of indecisive, always seeing both sides type of energy. And so this, I want to just like one card on this. We'll do this one. You see that one right here? The Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles, the two sad boys. Hey Zelda, how you doing today? Let me clarify this Five of Cups. Oh, the Five of Pentacles. And both of them are pointed down, right? Interesting, interesting. Should you go to the tarot store today? I say if you want to go to the tarot shop today, Zelda, then you should go to the tarot shop and get you a nice deck. That would be cool. If I could go to the tarot store, I would definitely go to the tarot store. The fives has been coming out so much lately. I kind of, where are the other fives? The Five of Swords and the Five of Wands. No, let's leave them. We saw the Five of, was it Swords or Wands? Wands or Swords? I don't remember. What is this? I guess again, it's that energy of like, with, okay. So I think the Five of Pentacles coming out, because the Five of Pentacles, it's that energy of being out in the cold, but it's being out in the cold in a space where we should be welcomed, where we should be accepted, right? Traditionally, it's the people outside of the church, and everyone should be welcome in the church, right? It's like, oh, why are you out in the cold? Like, come inside, get warm, and we'll get you some porridge or something. I don't know. And I feel like with this Emperor, maybe there are going to be people who, so down here, there's this need to stop playing small. You're not a little spider, you're a tarantula. That's why your web isn't sticky. You don't need your web to be sticky to get what you want. Like let the little spiders have the sticky web because they need the sticky web to eat. they get sticky web to survive. You don't need sticky web. So don't cry about how things are difficult for you and how things seem so much harder and you feel so much more and I'm so much more sensitive and connected than other people. Like, why is life so difficult? Because you can take it. And life is hard for everybody. It's not necessarily easy for anyone. And even the ones who have it easier in some regards have difficulties in others. But I feel like while this tarantula was pretending to be a spider, there was a certain safety net or the certain web of sort of connections that it built. But when this spider becomes a tarantula, I think it's going to rub some people the wrong way. And this is going to be that point where you kind of sort of have to cut. And it may not even be like you cutting people out. It's just the natural degravitation or regravitation towards other things. It's this natural splitting, right? It's like, oh, I liked like it's the people who keep you small because when you're small, you're more easy to manipulate, or you're more malleable, or you're more gullible, and you do whatever that they want you to do. And it's like you're good, like your relationship is good as long as you are sacrificing everything for yourself in favor of doing everything for them. I just saw Jawbreaker for the first time the other day, and Courtney is like, I'm your number one priority. I come before everything. I don't care if your sister is starving. If I call, you answer. And here's this, yeah. And then when Violet started to come into her own, Courtney was like, oh, I made you and I can break you. But this, I feel like, is instead of us breaking under this, we need to regravitate, remake ourselves, right? It's like we weren't fully who we were before. We're not fully who we've become now. It's this steady progression. They're both a steady progression. Let's see what y'all's on. Yeah. Hold up, wait. Let me see. Someone's still holding on to somebody with that Two of Pentacles. Thank you. I'm a little bit behind. All right, Clarinda. See you later. 4:10 a.m. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's, well, if someone is holding on to somebody down here, it's like they're holding on to this more feeble version of themselves. This low key, this got some Piscean energy because people like to be like, oh, Pisces is the sign that acts like they're helpless and they act like they're whatever, but in reality, they're more capable than they let on, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, as a Pisces, I don't see it, but also as a Pisces, I don't know. But that's what I got. Um, Up here, like there's on both sides, it's like there's this responsibility to the self to be all of who you are and to love yourself enough to, if something doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. But we're no longer sacrificing the self to appease others. So yeah, let's shuffle up, get some final messages. I feel like it can't get no plainer than that. Well, it could, but excuse me. I don't know. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. But I guess that's kind of sort of been the energy for a minute. It's like I'll do the animal first and then the cards. Let's see. Ooh, there's the wolf. It's so funny because I was like, oh my gosh, what if the tarantula comes out? What am I going to say about the tarantula? And then the tarantula came out talking about negative self-fulfilling prophecy. Not that that was necessarily negative, but what happened? Oh, yeah, that's what happened. So wait, so like you're not, well, I guess with the COVID restrictions, then like a lot of people weren't allowed to sort of be in there. But who, me? I'm a Pisces sun, Taurus moon, and rising. So I'm a Pisces sometimes, I'm a Taurus other times. I got Taurus strong in my chart. I'm basically a Taurus, but technically a Pisces. I play this interesting dance between Taurus, Pisces, and every other sign except Virgo. I feel like I've become, in some ways, a little more Sagittarian lately. Well, my North Node is in Sagittarius. Very Taurian, Piscean. I can be Aquarian. My sun is in the 11th house with my Saturn in Aquarius. My 11th house cusp is in Aquarius. Who else can I be? I can be Scorpio sometimes. I feel like we can all be Scorpio sometimes. I don't know. Not really Aries or Capricorn. Well, when I'm at work, I can be Capricorn. I can be very Capricorn at once. Very, 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 very much so. What you saying? All right, Zelda. Oh. Well, can you like? Oh, but your phone is going flat, and it's like 4 in the morning. So at least you'll be able to like, maybe like video call him. But if your phone is flat, I guess you wouldn't be able to. They should have something, right? Or like somebody at least should be able to like drop off the charger. Like, here's her charger, so she can have a phone and stay connected to the world. Okay. Final message from the animal spirits. 2 years with these cards. It's been 2 years. Now, I was using these heavy in the beginning. Ooh, the golden egg. Opportunity. I was using these heavy in the beginning, but then after I got comfortable with the tarot, I was using the tarot. I was like, I'm so scared of the tarot, so I'm going to start with the most complicated spread in this book. And I did that Celtic cross, and it made me cry. And I was like, okay. Did I record that? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I'll have to read it. I have to read it. Man. Yeah, and are y'all like still in like lockdown? Or is that supposed to be ending soon? Or has it started being relaxed? Probably not. These are not. What is that? The crow, the tarantula, and the whale. Ooh, with the tiger being the bottom of the deck. The white tiger. I'm gonna take these because there's that moon that we saw on the forehead of the horse. This is high priestess energy for me because I mean, in the wild unknown, the high priestess is a white tiger. I have not been seeing the crows really lately. I'm sad. Yeah, well, that makes sense because you know the hospitals are the hospitals. But it's happening this week. Okay. The crow is like holding this gem. Like I'll be outside sitting on the porch and I hear a caw, or like a caw, 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 like in the distance, and then it'll be gone. I'm like, where'd the crows go? The crows just read autumn to me, and for some reason, I was really excited about the autumn. We have air, fire, and water, so there's no earth here. But crows, I think crows also collect shiny things, right? Or is that just seagulls? I don't know. I'm reading crows. You have so many crows around your house. So many native birds. So crazy. I wish we had more crows. Usually they're out by now. Usually. And my dad is like out there like lighting the little fireworks to like get them to go away. But crow energy, it's about seeing value in something. Right. And we read seeing value in something as something shiny. And here's this glowy thing. So crow energy, it's collecting luminaries. That's what crow is doing. But and that's why this tiger high priestess energy is down here. Tiger to me it reads strong like a lion, but it's more powerful than the lion. But because the tiger is more powerful, it also has to have that element of sort of like grace to it to balance it out. Right. And so if we just look at it from the outside, we may say that the lion is more powerful because the tiger is more tame. But that's just how I read it. Okay. This ain't a big cat showdown. Almost like it's sitting on an opal. No. Don't like it because of his fruit trees. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. We don't have any well, we people just kind of see crows as carry-on birds. Are crows carry-on birds? Hey Siri, are crows carry-on birds? Or corvids?
One sec.
What's a corvid?
Here's what I found from wikipedia.org.
Yeah.
The carrion crow, Corvus corone, is a passerine bird of the family Corvidae and the genus Corvus, which is native to Western Europe and the Eastern Palearctic.
The carrion crow, Corvus corone. I don't even know what a carrion bird is. Carrions are like the decomposers, like vultures and stuff, right? I don't know. Anyway, so crow here, it's basically waiting on us to shine. And we do that by coming into the depths of the truth of our nature, right? Here's tarantula again, but there's the whale. Now, whale energy, it's very old, it's very wise, it's kind of sort of matronly, but grand matron, right? So it's like grandma, and it's well, yeah. And crow was looking again. Crow was like watching, waiting for us to come into all of this. Because it's a path that we've set ourselves up for. But again, because we have free will and because we have choice, we don't have to choose to do it. We don't have to choose anything. And again, it takes me back up to that Eight of Wands, where it's like, as we allow this to really sink into who we are, it reads enlightenment, but it's not. It is, but it isn't. It's like it's enlightenment, but it's something simpler than when we go, oh, like, and then it attracts to us all of these things. Almost like Crow has been collecting and is now waiting for the moment to give. But with this tarantula, we got to go after what it is that we want. Like, we still have the ability to create webs and to do whatever, but it's much more active. And whale can be submerged, but it has to come up for air at some point. Right? Righty ho. Great grandma. You're in the summer now, so all fruits are becoming ready to pick. Ooh. Best time for the birds to eat the fruits. Wait, you have crows? Or do we have crows in the summer? Do we have crows in this? Are crows here in the summer? Well, it's winter over here when it's the summer over there. No, but the crows are here too. Because I'm like, I don't know if I remember hearing like a crow call in the summer. Or like, I feel like they're much, or maybe I just notice them in the fall time, in the autumn. I don't know. I don't know anything about birds. All right, Zelda. We're almost done here. Thanks, ladies, for coming in. I don't know what this is. I should kind of sort of have a plan. Oh, I want to do something real quick, just real quick, to end this off. Clarinda, I thought you was trying to preserve your phone battery. I'm just giving you a hard time. They seem to be around all year there. You don't know either. Maybe they're around all year here too, and I just don't notice until the autumn time, because that's when I start looking for them. Oh, ooh, is that the Ten of Cups? Let's see if it comes out on top. Oh, the Ten of Cups and the Father of Cups. That's interesting. Ooh, the Six of Swords with the Father of Cups. Okay. One more. The Father of Swords with the Father of Cups. And the Father of Swords is taking it. You have 1%. Oh my gosh. Hold up, wait, what? Oh. Oh my goodness. Somebody charge Corinda's phone. Ooh, Mother of Pentacles. This will be real quick. Justice. Ace of Wands. Oh. Crossed by the Eight of Swords. And the Three of Swords. With the Mother of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Oh, look, Mother of Pentacles, Mother of Cups. This is interesting. Okay. I feel like in general, this is about, I feel like for a long time, we've sort of been seeking retribution in some area, seeking justice, seeking what we believe is rightfully ours. And so we're coming into this space now where it's almost like we have the chance to prove that we're capable of having more before we're necessarily given more. And so we're being challenged right now in ways to see. It's like, I feel like we're being challenged in ways to see if we've actually changed. Maybe the past is coming up. Maybe people are constantly reminding us of the past in whatever way we've been manifesting change, maybe more specifically this year, but within the past few years to move into the next sort of period. And so there's almost this challenge for us to continuously pour into ourselves and to continuously nurture ourselves in order to sort of like rise to the challenge. Now, the end result of all of this is the Three of Swords, which is interesting. But with the red threads here, I feel like it's an ability to sort of unravel these three swords. And it's an ability to take fate into our own hands by means of maintaining this composure within the self. Right. And this is an ability, again, there's like this thing about coming into the freedom of choice, but actually making choices and not being so heavily influenced by things from the past, right? But it's like, to do that, we have to see all the ways that we have changed through the space of challenge. Because it's like challenge is the quickest and most effective way to test it, right? It's like, so I'm not getting a PlayStation or an Xbox this year. This is the first time in a long time I'm not getting a new console around release, and that's fine. But it's just the first time in a while. And so, although I don't really care, part of me is like, that I don't want to say it was part of my identity to like always get the new thing, but like I would have started working and saving money to get it. I would have had my pre-order down. I would have picked it, the PlayStation 5 last night, but it's not happening. Why am I talking about that? I don't remember. Why did I start talking about that? You can't leave for some reason. Well, hey, it looks like your phone isn't letting you go. Okay, well, bye, Clorinda. Take care. I hope that you heard me. Sorry. Um, but yeah, it's like, where was I going with that? change. Oh, it's easiest and most effective in the space of challenge. And sometimes we rise, sometimes we fall. But when we rise, I feel like it's for us to recognize that. Because something coming in, it's going to require us to rise. It's going to require more from us. So we're also in this time of, it's like almost this time of testing, but it's also a time of proving to the self. And then after this, maybe we're going to get more opportunities that will more naturally unravel this Three of Swords type of energy. Or maybe we'll just be, maybe we're already in the space of doing it now. Right? Because it's almost like, it is what it is. I feel like I said it. And that's why the Mother of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. I feel like the Mother of Cups sort of speaks to this pre-High Priestess energy, where maybe we have a feeling that something good is about to happen. But I think this something good, again, it's going to require us to have this sort of relationship between ourselves and our inner children, if you will, to be open to it. And without this unraveling, this situation is going to fall apart. It's going to fall apart. And that's also been a theme, right? It's that being all of who we are type of energy. So. Oh, why not no PS5? Because I ain't got no money this year, Zelda. Or last year. I ain't really worked in a minute. So that's why I'm not getting the PlayStation 5 yet. But things will soon be changing, and I'm excited for that. I'm so excited for that. Also, there's some other stuff going on in my personal life right now that makes me excited for that. So it's some really, really kind of sort of amazing news that shifts and changes a lot of things, that alleviates a lot of things. And if I don't know, if there's one thing I learned in the past year of my life with all of these concerns, is that I need not be, because solutions have already been given. And it's like I have the answer before I even know what the answer is. It's like having a key when you haven't even found the door until you come upon a locked door. And you're like, oh, wait, I was given the key for this a long time ago. Like, what? It's like, yeah, I don't know. Okay. I don't know why these are like not talking to me. That's fine. The 5 and the 6 of Pentacles. I love that the 6 is here now. So for the tarantula people, things will improve. Don't allow someone to convince you that you are better off small, because that's not true. And if you got to be small to fit into that space, then hey, that space ain't for you. You're not a small spider. You're a tarantula. Maybe they thought, maybe you were like this, like a little smaller than typical baby tarantula, and they thought, oh my gosh, it's a cute little spider. And then you got bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's a tarantula. Can't let this tarantula discover that they're a tarantula. Got to treat it like a spider. It's like, yeah, no. Okay. I'm just gonna keep going until something comes out today. Until something comes out. I'll be here all day if I gotta be here all day. I got other things to do, but it can wait. I got a lot of stuff to do. Oh, but it's fine. Everything in time. A stitch in time saves 9. Yeah, let's go for it. We putting reversals in here. Ooh, double in reverse. Don't mind if I do. Almost. Okay, yeah, now everything wants to fall over. Ooh! Oh, Empress at the bottom of the deck after we've seen the Emperor. Okay. I see the Four of Pentacles upright, the Three of Swords, and the Father of Swords in reverse with the Six of Cups in reverse. This, to me, this feels like an energy of regret. Have you ever regretted something in your life and instead of correcting for what it is that you regret, you decide to keep going with it? Let's say that there's somebody that you find out that you were wrong about them and you need to apologize to them for whatever reason. But whatever misinformation you received got you to go like way off the handle. And you're like, oh, like, I wish I wouldn't have done that, but I don't know how I can face that person and like blah, blah, blah. And so instead of facing that person, you just continue to not. That's kind of sort of this energy with the Six of Cups in reverse, the Father of Wands in reverse, the Three of Swords, and the Four of Pentacles both upright. But at the end of the day, it's like you only cheat yourself, really. And clearing karma and consciousness is an energy here. What's this? Let's see. Ooh, the Four of Swords, because it'll bring you peace. I feel like if there's something that you can't get any peace from, there's a reason. And the reason isn't necessarily to have things work out or whatever, but it might, low key. I just think it's time for us to bring peace and to bring balance to the things from the deep past that kind of sort of keep us egoically stuck, right? Again, this is the space of not being able to make any choices because your choices are already made for you. You're not going to apologize. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. Oh, you're not brave enough for this. You're not smart enough for that. You're not talented enough for the other thing. And so whenever you come upon an opportunity, all of those voices will have you rejected. And so even though you have free will and free choice, you don't really use that free will and free choice because, again, we're more locked down, shut down, tied to whatever it is this was. And again, it's like it's something that isn't us and it's something that's never served us. But if we can bring peace to all of these things, we can come into the energy of truly creating a fulfilling life for ourselves with this Empress energy. Love that. That was quite a bit. So typically for a final message, I like 2 to 3 cards. But we'll see. Oh, it'll come out if it's supposed to. Oh, come. Oh, well, there's the Empress again. Bottom of the deck this time is the Mother of Cups. No problem, Zelda. Glad to be of service. The Mother of Cups at the bottom of the deck again, and we just saw the Empress at the bottom. So the Empress, the Three of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Five of Swords in reverse. Hey, I like that. I like that energy a lot. So coming into this true Empress energy where we're allowed to create the world that we live in because we have this freedom of choice. I feel like it allows reconciliation in some areas, progress and forward movement in other areas, and these fights and these battles that we don't benefit from fighting, we no longer fight. Because the ego is rectified and aligned. It's healed and aligned. And so it's not going to have us, right? It's like if you look at the ego of an emperor versus the ego of your local champion of whatever. Your local champion of whatever is much more likely to answer every single challenge that they come across because, like, I gotta constantly prove that I'm whatever. But like, if your local champion of whatever goes to the emperor's ego is going to be like, you know what? I'm above this. Like, I have absolutely nothing to gain from this. I'm not going to lose, but I don't have to prove to you that I'm not going to lose. Like, I have better things to waste my time on if I were going to waste time. And it's not for us to come into this feeling of being better than anyone, but it's to illustrate the evolution of the ego, where it's like there are certain things that maybe at one point we would have given our time and energy and effort towards that. After a while, it's like, you know what? I don't know. It's not for me. More than anything, though, I feel like this Three of Cups is it's an openness and it's a vulnerability. And that's something that I didn't remember to say about the hyena path, coming out of that Father of Swords crossroad, or the Father of Wands cross, is that vulnerability, because without vulnerability, it's harder for the things that are for us to reach us, right? It's like, let's think of Cinderella, right? You got the birds and you got the mice. Now, the birds are going to bring you bird things and the mice are going to bring you mice things. Now, the crow is bringing you the shiny stuff, but the mice is, the mice are the ones that help, they make the dress. And if the mice can't get in, then you get no dress, right? What's this? Oh, the Five of Wands. Where's Clorinda? Oh, all the fives are coming out. And I was like, yeah, but the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands aren't here. Well, here they are. Five of Swords in reverse and the Five of Wands upright. I feel like with this Five of Wands, though, in this deck, typically the Five of Wands is a lack of focus. I feel like this is just, it's things taken off in many, many, many different areas in many different ways. And I think that's why this openness and this vulnerability is going to be important. I feel like that's another reason why it's going to be important to, more than anything, be in a space where you can be honest about how inexperienced you might be. And there's a difference between being inexperienced and being sort of like incompetent or whatever, right? It's like you can have all of the skills, but not as much of the experience to prove that you're good at something, right? And the thing about experience is just like, it's time. It's the time that you've done this professionally, the time that you've done this, whatever. And again, I feel like it's not that you're not skilled, it's just a lack of experience. It's a lack of practiced time, not even practice time. It's a lack of like paid time on this or in this area. Um, and I feel like you're gonna need to be able to see it that way. Because if you don't, it may cause you to be a little bit sort of rough around the edges. And you don't have to be. Like, be open and vulnerable. I feel like to fight this thing is to get it to sort of run away in some ways. Potentially. Did I just flip both of these? I think I did. Okay. I don't know. Oh, there's a high priestess with the lovers. Because whatever you know is coming in for you, it's coming in for you. Right? It's coming in for you as you are and as you will be. Not as you were, as you are and as you will be. And so there's no need to overcompensate. There we go. Thank you. Oh, well. Bottom of the deck is the Daughter of Wands upright. The card that came out is the Ace of Cups in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse, to me, this is the pouring out of the Holy Grail, right? Because with the Ace of Cups in reverse, everything is pouring out. With the Ace of Cups upright, it's all going in the cup. Now it's being poured out. And we're going to be asked to come into some things real quick. Real quick. And again, with the Daughter of Wands, there's this energy of like, I think her wand is the only wand that is blossoming. What is that? Oh, I was watching a video right before I came live. of Irish girl names. And there was a name that meant like blossoming, and it was the wife or the partner of Cucullin. I think it was like blah, blah. I don't remember. I'm gonna look it up real quick though, or I could just play the video. I'll just play the video. Where'd it go? Cause she said he. What?
Scythe, like rhyming with so scythe.
It wasn't scythe,
All
was
these
it?
different ways to spell it. The name scythe appears a lot in old Irish folklore, and so it's very old Irish tradition. The next name is Sinead, and
Nope.
Sinead is an Irish and he's
Here it is. This is an I'm gonna try to remember how to pronounce it. Blonid. I think it's Blonid. I was like, I know it's around here somewhere. I found it.
Next name is Blonid. And it means blossom and flower. It's pronounced Blonid. Blonid.
So Blonid. It's blossom or flower. It's an old Irish. Oop. Well, there was a 3 of swords again. Oh, but it's in reverse now. It's in reverse now. So hey, Blonid, the wife of Cucullin. Well, let's just listen to her talk about it. Maybe she talked about Blonid a little bit. I don't remember. 1147.
It's spelled Blathnid. In Irish legend, Blonid was Cucullin's lover, and Cucullin is an old Gaelic Irish warrior hero. He's like Cucullin. Everyone learns about Cucullin in school, and he's an Irish.
Okay, well, that's all she said about Blonid. But it's the lover of Cucullin, like old Gaelic hero. Oh, snap. Thank you, Zelda. I appreciate it. People say you're the rose blossoming in the winter. That is so interesting you say that, because it reminds me, Bloomin' Rose told me about a song a while ago. I think it's called Snow Rose or something like that. And so it's interesting that you say that. Blonid. But with the Ace of Cups in reverse, I feel like it's being released. It's coming out of the Holy Grail. Everything that we've wished for, everything that we wanted, it's in the space to be received. It's in the space to be claimed, to be received or claimed. But we can choose to not, if we want to. You ain't got to take it. So thank you again, Zelda and Clementer, for stopping in. That's what I got today. It's been 2 years with these cards. I love them. I wasn't quite sure. I probably should have had an idea before I just came on and started pulling cards. Maybe I'll do spreads again. So something will be a little cohesive. But yeah, I will catch y'all later. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make it all better, because for those who believe in, align with, and act in ways that support miracles, miraculous things are much more likely to happen and occur, and kind of sort of in some ways happen every day. In a lot of ways. But yeah, that's what I got for y'all. And I hope that it finds you well and it serves you as you serve yourself moving forward in your own personal life and in your spiritual journey. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm sorry.